Good morning. Welcome to Homestead Gardens and Homestead. We've had a few rainy days. It didn't really rain yesterday, sprinkled a little off and on. And today it's sunshine then cloud, sunshine then cloud. But I'm out here in the garden because I'm getting my fall garden planted in and wanted to take you along for the ride. Now, right here and all along right here, I have planted peas. And I'm going to admit to you, I have trouble with peas. And I get such varied advice from different people. Some people say, oh, plant them in early spring and they'll do great. Some people say, oh no, plant them for fall, they'll do great. Then I have people that say, oh, I grow them all winter long. And so I've never been able to grow them much of anything. Gotten very little pea pods off of it, but I don't give up. As you know, I'm trying it again, and I'm doing it right here so they can climb up the hoop tunnel. And I'm really hoping. I've done everything I'm supposed to do. I've soaked the peas. I've taken really good care of the soil, preparing it really well, and so here's hoping. Squash that I planted a week or so ago is really coming in and looking good, so I'm really excited about that. It's getting ready to start climbing up the hoop tunnel, and I'm really looking forward to some good squash this fall. So I'm over here at the bed where I've planted my beans, and they're starting to come up, but I've also got some grass coming up in the bed. So what I'm doing is I'm picking up that grass and I'm putting it up along the fence line, and to keep the grass from coming in over the fence. You get a good enough barrier built up along that fence line, especially of grass, but I've got my like I peas that were in this garden before, I've got those up against there also. Have you ever mowed your yard and left your grass, maybe raked it up even, and had your grass clippings in a certain place and they got all hard and crusty and underneath it was like almost dead? That's the same premise behind this. You get that grass built up, especially if you have a lawnmower with a bag on it. Mow your yard and then take those clippings and put that up along your fence line or wherever you're wanting to stifle the grass, and it'll get hard and crusty. I would water it in, that's what I do, and then it'll get hard and it'll get crusty and nothing will grow underneath it. So that's what I'm doing, is building up that border. Just a quick little update here on my goji berries. Remember how they looked after the heat had hit them, and they have come back in full force. They are putting out new little goji berries everywhere. I've got blooms everywhere. The bees are out here doing their job. They're loving my goji berries. So they survived the heat and they're doing really well. So I've come in here with my amendments and put that through the center here. Now along the edges I put a really thick line of mulch. I didn't put it in the center yet because I want to wait till my kale starts coming through before I put the mulch over it. decomposing, so it's a really a good mulch, but I still don't want it on top of my kale until it starts breaking ground. But what I am going to do is I'm going to come through. I've already put this inside my amendment, but I want to just sprinkle some of my azomite on top. This is what I use. This is azomite. These are trace minerals, and this brand also comes in powder form, but I prefer the granule. It's easier for me to work with. I have used the powder, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just prefer the granule. It's easier for me to work with. So now I'm going to come through and plant my kale. Now, you can, I wear gardening gloves when I'm doing a lot of work, but when it comes to planting, I don't want to use my gloves. I want to use my best tool, and that's my hands, because I can just put the little holes and get things done. Okay, I got that all planted in. And now I'm going to water it in, and then I've got my turnips to plant, and I'll be done for the day. Well, I got things watered in, and I thought that I'd be done, but we took a tree down here, and so every so often we have to come and cut up the little sucklings that try to come up. But with all this rain, it's just gone crazy, and it's crowding out one of my squashes. This is a winter squash that I've got a lot of blooms on, and I don't want it to be squished, so I've got to take it down. I do wear gloves when I do this, because I was going to thin this out once, and I grabbed hold, and there was a bee in there, and it stung me. And first time I've been stung in probably 20 years. But, so I make sure I wear my gloves. Now this little tool, it's really for pulling up corn, cutting down corn, but you got a lot of uses around this, especially if you're doing a chop and drop, which I'm going to do with this. I'm going to take this along that fence line, because it'll just be another pile on top to be a barrier for the grass that comes in across the fence. Yeah, and there's a bee. Hope he doesn't get upset with me. Got a lot of habitat. It doesn't need this one. Now I know what kind of bee stung me. That's a bumblebee, which we have a lot of here. I know I used to see them a lot when I was a kid, but I haven't seen them a lot in past years. But the past 5 years here, they have just, maybe it's because of the garden, but they're just prolific. And there's part of that squash. See, it was growing up under in there. See, I got part of my squash, and that upsets me. But got to get this up. I'm trying to be careful. I'm not wanting to get squash. I'm not wanting to get my echinacea. See, this is where it's good to know your plants, because this is growing up in my longevity spinach that I have over here, but I know the difference even though they're very similar. Let me show you. This is a longevity spinach leaf, and this is a leaf from the tree I'm pulling up. Very similar. I can tell the difference in coloring and in the way the pattern is on the leaf. So you need to learn your plants. Okay, now I'm done. I can finish watering in. It looks like it's going to rain, so I'm not going to water really heavy, but I am going to water just in case. And then I can do my harvesting. Done for the day. Okay, I got things watered in. Garden's looking really, really nice. End of summer, a lot of things are coming up. Fixing to take up the last of the tomatoes. But I wanted to reiterate about, watering things in. We always water, even where there's nothing planted, we will water over it, but we don't water it really well. We don't waste our water, so we just water it because we don't want it to, be dead soil. And I took some footage the other day when it was raining. Stan went out to plant the fava beans right over there, and that we had started, and as he dug under, he was finding it dry. It had been raining since the day before, off and on. I mean, it wasn't a pouring rain, but when he was digging it up, it was raining. But we had to water in before we could plant them. And I took that video. I haven't actually put it up, but I wanted to show it to you, just to show you that you have to get your hands in and to know if you're watering good enough. Now, that is not to show you the way the rest of the garden is. I mean, you can tell that my stuff is getting plenty of water. We've got a very thriving garden here. But you do have to get your hands in. You do have to dig in to see if you're giving your plants enough water. So where your plants are, dig in right beside them. See if they're getting enough water. Look how dry it is. Dry as can be. And we've been getting all this rain. So this is my point about watering. You never know if your plants are getting enough water unless you actually feel the soil. Well, this is where we had pulled up tomatoes. So yeah, we've been spraying the ground because I never like my ground to get, totally dry. But we hadn't actually been watering in. And you can see the results of that. Well, it has been a busy day in the garden. I hope that you've had a great day in your garden also. And thank you for joining me. I hope that you come back and join us again. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Give me a thumbs up and hope to see you again soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.